If you would like to vote for the show that we will be watching next after this, feel free to go to the community tab on my channel and vote for it. There'll be a poll up and running for that. What's up? I'm Grizz. Welcome. Series finale, episode 37 of Death Note. It's been a long time. I really dragged this one out, and I would like to apologize for that. I was hitting hard with the one video a week instead of the multiple, like I said when I first started this I was going to, and things happen, you know. But I found myself having a lot of time here down this backstretch, and we were able to pump some out at the end and get this over with. So there we go. Very excited to see where we're going to head with this. There's multiple routes they can take. There's multiple predictions I was making last episode in that discussion. So if you want to hear those, go watch that first. Or I guess they're just guesses of what I think might happen. But I'm more so interested just how they're going to do this. We got left off specifically showing Light being a little too early, jumping the gun just a bit too early with his excitement, like a second too early, half a second. And I'm feeling, based on the confidence level of Nier, that Light's not onto what he thinks he's onto, which could ring like really bad things. But how exactly, even after, if they do expose him for being who he is, Nier's going to counter this, because Light still technically has control of Teru and everything and can kind of go out of his way and do what he needs to here. So I'm just curious the way that we're going to take this and how exactly we're going to do. And if we're going to be able to experience Light's new world here, or if we're going to eliminate him from this current world. I don't know what I'm getting at. If you like it all, hit the like and subscribe. Do mean a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion. After the discussion, I'll be talking about my overall thoughts and opinions on the series as a whole. I'll give it a rating and just a whole bunch of other stuff. Once again, participate in the poll if you want to have a say in what comes next. But yeah, let's get going. Episode 37, Death Note. Just gonna count it all the way back up. Come on, baby. And everyone's what? Okay, everyone's alive. As expected. Okay. Where we go from here is the big question, because Buddy just got exposed for saying that out loud. Wait. You gotta trust me. Delete. Oh. Well, now we don't have the book. We have the paper, so we can scream to Mikami to... Mr. Yagami yourself. So he probably has... He does. He did. It does. Are you gonna weasel your way out of this, huh? Yeah. Yeah, after you literally just claimed victory, huh? We heard it. The face is great. Yeah. It's a little too late, buddy. You're dead. This is what I really want to know, though. What he does from here. Like, there's no way he just submits. Like, there's gotta be something, right? My guess was that we would just have the thing in our... Oh, I guess he is. Oh. You're a fucking criminal, bro. No, you didn't hear that right. That's not what he said. Bro just fucking tampered with everything. Look at all this. Holy fuck, they went OD, bro. Oh my god. Ryuk's like, wait. Did he? I said last week, I really hope that he killed Light using this. So that'd be hilarious if he does. It's almost like you're hiding them somewhere.
やはり
You're hiding it somewhere, yeah.
それでどれだけ殺し我々は欺いてメロのおかげです。
Oh, was he useful? Was he useful for once?
メロだと
I don't understand.
これを
So
よく見てください。
ノートに高田の名前が僕が高田を殺した
why is
そ
it?
の1分後の設定
Oh no! Oh!
見張らね動けぬと
Oh!
ああいう状態になればそれは私の役目バカが今日まで余計なことはもののノートがあり高田の名前
That's where we hit that. Yep. So he got really fucking nervous that his god was going. He said, I gotta do something.
いたため三上が勝手に動いたことに気づけなかった。
Yep.
ここ
Absolutely.
で初めて私は偽のノートの可能性に気づきました。この状況を作り出し、一人では目標の L を越すことはできないかもしれないこと。しかし二人なら L に並べる。二人なら L を越せる。そして今私たちは L が敗れたキラに確たる勝負。
Well, bro, that's what I said from the fucking start when he was like, I'm going my separate way. I'm like, well, you just fucked it. I keep feeling like he's gonna use the thing in his watch. Like, he definitely has another one, and he's just gonna, like, ask Terra to be like, what's his name, bro, and fucking end him, right? Or he has, like, everybody's name written somewhere, and he's gonna, like... Okay, he's going insane right now. He's gonna come out? Okay.
僕がキラだ僕はキラそして新世界の神だ
How so?
キラが法であり
How
キラが
so?
秩序を守っているもはや僕は正義世界の人間の希望殺すか本当にそれでいいのか
Yeah, it is.
誰かがやらなければならない
So we talk your way out of those, bro.
した時思った僕がやるしかない
I was the chosen one.
僕にしかできない人を殺すのが犯罪なんてことは分かっている
But killing bad people?
僕に与えられた使命
It was entrusted in me to do this.
やるしかない
I will carry the burden of this.
他のものにできたかここまでやれたかこの先できるか
Probably not.
そうだ新世界を作れるのは
This is you.
僕しかい
I mean, look at Teru, bro. Fucking had the thing for like a month and he completely broke down. To be honest, he was mentally insane to start with, though. Yeah, thank you. I'm with him
そして
100%.
このノートは史上最悪の殺人
Yes.
クレイジーな大量殺人犯
Yes.
ただそれだ
Yes. At first, he had good intentions, although he had the god complex, but it's changed rapidly over time.
バカばかり
You guys couldn't possibly ever understand. And then the watch. Does he have everybody written down somewhere at a certain time already? Then it's just gonna leave him in the air.
お前が持ってるノートそして相沢が日本捜査本部から持ってきたノート本物か
今度はハッタリか
Okay, he's about to pull some shit I'm not even...
そこへ書き込むべきだ
He's trying to turn you into a murderer?
ノートが本物か
While he does the...
偽
Yeah.
物か
Yeah. Okay, I figured. Slap him! Oh, fuck. Matsuda, you made yourself useful. You made yourself useful. What a lad. So he could be the fucking god, bro. The new world. It was needed. He doesn't understand. Shoot. Yes, shoot. Straight though. for justice. Let's go, Matsuda! Let's go! W-mans! Yes, sir! Beautiful. Beautiful. No, don't tell me you missed. No! No! Let him at it. Let him at it. You're lucky they're fucking holding him back. He wouldn't miss. Oh, what the fuck? An escape. Let him out. Let him out. Come on, Matsuda. No! No fucking shot. You just let him go.
ノートももう隠し持ってはいないでしょうし、あの傷ではどうせ遠くへも。
You can't keep running forever, brother. It's over. You were so innocent. You were so young. Just reflecting on it all. He was just a man with a dream. He wanted it all. Run past himself in the same spot. Yep. He did. So I'm gonna we're ending it now. Yeah. Damn. The first time we've seen Ryuk work. Yeah. Quite a fun time. Yeah. Rip Bozo. So the new world is just the world without Light's new world. the notebooks, right? Is that what we're doing? It's on your mind, Misa. Just gonna credit roll out. Oh no, Misa. Oh no. I guess she doesn't have a purpose here, right? Poor girl, though. Just played with her entire fucking life, dude. The past, like, 6 years of her life. Now Ryuk has to look on and find fun somewhere else. To ease his boredom. The poor guy. Rip Bozo, easy fucking clap. Too easy. You know, it took us years and 37 episodes to do it, but we did it. Never doubted the squad. Listen, I think that's a really good finale. I think that's a excellent way for them down there. I kept saying, like, I think he has something up his sleeve that he has to do, or I think, like, there's something that he can pull out and do. And I think that was just more so me wishing, like, some real, like, grand, like, fucking insane moment happened, but instead we just saw him kind of going insane, like, last, like breath type of thing. Like, I need to do something, like, last minute decision. And panic mode, and I think that works perfectly fine as well. Trying to like make things up to really have Nier question himself. I mean, he even scared me there for a second. I didn't expect it, but then finally being able to go to his watch and figure everything out that he had to, and or attempt to do what he had to kill whoever he was going to kill in that moment. It's interesting for sure. I really did think though that he was going to have like a secret. I thought that he was going to use that to kill Nier. I thought we were going to get a Teru Yella's name or something real quick and we're going to fucking do this. But I also thought that he would have had like a piece of paper somewhere with like everybody who he was bringing and everybody who Nier was bringing, just like with all their names and everything written on it, like a specified like time and everything, and just fucking end them there, just so if something did go wrong. But I guess that actually wouldn't have worked, but still, I thought that just something like that could have been fun. I really do like having Ryuk be the one we bring it back, having him end it, specifically also because it literally was stated from the beginning that this was the case. So I like that a lot. Something I had completely forgotten about at that point, especially because Ryuk has been so like out of it for so long that I can't remember all of that. I do remember specifically he stated that you can't go to heaven or hell if you hold like the notebook at one point or for whatever reason, right? So I'm assuming, unless that's just if you're death by a Shinigami, then you can't, regardless. Either way, so that also leaves me with a question, because we didn't get to see it. Does that just mean Light goes to like a certain like where the fuck does he go? You know, he's not a Shinigami, so he can't go to their realm, right? So like, where the fuck, where does he go? Is he just in the void? Like, I don't know. I liked Matsuda having like a really big role there at the end, and him kind of losing it in protection of the chief and kind of wanting, you know, hey, you killed your fucking dad, but this guy who was so important and impactful on everybody else's life who was there, what was that for? If this was you all along, why would you do something like that, right? Was all that really necessary? And him just kind of losing it at that point and starting like to fucking open fire on him, I thought was really cool. And I'm very happy that happened. I'm also happy Matsuda hit that shot, at least the first one, and any others that he might have there too. Just because there's a thing in anime, you already know, they don't hit shots ever unless it's your main character. So I was really like thankful he like was able to. I'm really pissed they didn't let him finish him off though. I really wish that would have been cool as hell. But it's all right. I mean, it made sense, and I think the actual ending with Ryuk and everything was pretty good enough that I didn't care. Teru as well, losing like his fucking mind and trying to create a distraction to let Light get out of there is really funny. And I really like that. I thought that was so cool. Still just like holding on to him. But more importantly, I guess Light's entire speech about like having to carry this burden, having to be the one who does this because nobody else could take on the responsibility of doing something and being the what he considers to be justice in a way, right? And create this new world. I think that was really cool to kind of see him openly express that and also state the idea of like, nobody else can fucking handle this. I'm the only one who can. And like, look at Teru, for example. Like, while Teru was mentally unstable from the fucking start, he still lost it completely, especially by the end there. Like, it's a hard thing to probably take on, especially if you have to play these games and get around other people, but also just like taking the lives of so many other people too, especially when your life's in danger. Then you start thinking about it and reflecting on all that stuff about how it isn't easy to take lives, and definitely was tough for him to kind of have to come to that realization, I guess, and get through that. And I don't think he's wrong at all. I think if anybody has that sort of idea of what to do, I think he literally is like one of the only few, maybe a few exceptions outside of him, but for the most part, it's him, Light himself, who can like actually do this and take on full responsibility of this. And so I guess you have to tip your hat to that. But at the end of the day, Buddy's a murderer and just trying to justify it in ways that isn't, we shouldn't. Oh, it is what it is. By the end, too, I never once came around to the moral argument of like, he's killing all these death row inmates and he's killing all these bad people and doing all this. Because like at first he was, and I was like, there's a line still if you do that I'm like, I don't know if I cross personally, but I'm not sure if I'm mad at people for doing that. But as Light kind of progressed, he started killing people for less and less things, and to a point that he just kind of lost it, and that's fucked up. And at the end of the day, he became a murderer. That's why I was so happy to see him go. But yeah, I don't know how much more I want to touch on the finale itself. Really good, I would say. Just way to kind of close it out, especially these last two episodes I thought were really good. They did a good job at building up the stakes and making it very tense. Regarding the entirety of this series as a whole, thank you to anybody who kind of embarked on this journey, all 37 episodes since I think I started this in like February. It took me forever to get through, so thank you. Now, before I get into this, because I know anybody who's still listening is going to completely disagree with mainly everything that I'm about to say, just be respectful of the things I'm just going to say, because I'm respectful enough of other people's opinions regarding this series and the status and everything that they give it and how impactful it might have been for them and getting into the like anime or getting into certain things, or it just might be an all-time favorite or something that they can look back on fondly for like certain things, right? Sure, I get that, and I'm fully respectful of that. For me personally, I didn't really love the majority of this series. I think possibly had I not been exposed to as much stuff and things, I guess, kind of within the genre, I haven't really delved too much into this, but just enough of the different types of things I've experienced over the years now, I feel as though if I saw this before all those, I would have found it fascinating and loved it. But I feel where I'm at now, and looking back and kind of judging it based on like the types of stories I like and the way that I know storytelling can be and certain other things, to me, it didn't hit the same way in any sort of way. I never grew an attachment for any of the characters. I know people absolutely love Light. I know people absolutely love L. I didn't care for any of them really. Light, I never got around to in the slightest. Didn't like him at all. I thought L was pretty fun and just like enjoyable to be around. And it made me actually appreciate him a lot more when we got fucking fake ass copied Nier to come in here. And it was like, he was beyond boring and not interesting at all. So it made me definitely appreciate L a lot more. However, still wasn't like overly into his character or anything. It didn't really feel much. Especially I could reflect back on episodes 24 or 5 with our final showdown with him kind of, and when he died, I didn't feel anything in the slightest. Like it was just like okay, I figured this was gonna happen, you know. Like I don't know, just like a lot of those moments didn't really do it for me. I think they did a excellent job though with specifically like the way that they played a lot of the mind games, a lot of the cat and mouse types games that they were doing, and a lot of the things specifically in the first half, but even in the second half. And I know the second half gets a lot of hate. I'll specifically talk about each of them in a minute, but I think they did a great job with those kind of, where they didn't make anything overly predictable. Some things, sure, they were, but like for the most part, there was always like something that kind of kept me like, oh, I didn't see that coming, or oh, I didn't see that. And I definitely want to tip my hat to the writers for that, because they definitely did an excellent job of kind of keeping you on your toes with those certain things, and definitely having like specific intricacies regarding the system and the way that it kind of worked, and really setting that up. And I think that's was really cool. And even now I don't fully have a straight grasp of like everything involving it, but I have enough like surface level of it, and based on like the stuff that I think was really expressed within the story, that I can kind of fully understand, or understand to a good enough point that I think I can make these types of judgments, or I feel validated enough in the things I'm saying. Specifically, things I guess in the first half that I liked, I found for the most part, most of it like enjoyable enough, like, and I liked it enough. The introduction to everything was like fun, and then I think we kind of hit a bit of a lull like in the earlier halves of things until we had the Light and L like real interaction, and then things really started picking up again for me. And I think like the next all the way through till we started introducing like the Yotsuba stuff, I think was really fucking good, and I really liked that chunk. And then the Yotsuba stuff was like beyond boring to me, and I hated like every episode of that completely. I was not a fan of those at all. Once Light did away with having control and not being in possession of the book or anything anymore, it kind of, I lost me there. And then him and Elle teaming up was not it for me, and wasn't a big fan of that. So ultimately, when he was able to finally like kick it into gear and get it back, I really thought those few episodes like at the end of the L arc were really good and really solid. While I don't think they were the most masterful things that I've ever seen, I thought that they were still particularly good, and I enjoyed them for the most part, especially in comparison to what we were getting right before that. Going into the second arc, specifically the second half of the story, I was nervous because I know a lot of people were like, this isn't good, or this part a lot of people stopped watching, or a lot of people just aren't interested in it anymore. And I was just actually really curious to figure out exactly why, but that kind of definitely soured, like I was already dreading getting into that second half and being worried about what exactly was going to happen. And honestly, I don't think it was bad at all. I think some of the episodes weren't like the most crazy thing, but I don't think there were like maybe one or two, but I really don't think there were any episodes that I was like, this is boring or something, you know, like how I was feeling throughout the Yotsuba arc specifically, and maybe a couple within like the first like 5 or 10 episodes. So I think they did a good enough job at keeping it like setting the bar of like a consistency for it. But I also don't think there were any episodes I was like, this is fucking fantastic. I thought the one specifically with us like meeting up with Mello and killing like Light's dad and stuff, I thought that was really good. And then especially these last 36 and 37 were fantastic episodes. But I feel most of the other stuff was like below average, just to average for me, that it didn't really meet the mark, especially on top of when you add in characters like Nier, who are straight copies of, you know, L, and it just didn't do anything for me in the slightest. He was so boring, and I had no interest in seeing him on screen. Somebody who I actually had interest in and wanted to see, Mello, because he was so chaotic and I felt he could really introduce stuff to the story. He didn't do as much. He made that arc specifically with Light's dad really interesting, I would say, and I thought he had a really cool way of handling it when they took the sister and they did all that. But after that point, he was like non-existent and he was so useless. And while he became important because of like how things ended in this specific episode, with us being able to see Takada being killed and everything, like on that other book, because Teru lost his mind, right? So like Mello actually helped at the end of the day. He felt incredibly useless even when we reintroduced him and then ended up just killing him. It just felt like his presence wasn't like used in any sort of like meaningful way, and it was I don't know, and that part didn't do much for me. I think trying to put myself in a mindset of where this would hold up, especially when it came out in that time frame, I think this definitely would be better than kind of how I took it. But like I said, based on where I'm at now and the things I've been exposed to and already seen and stuff, now it's not as impactful or doesn't do as much. And so for me, it just like kind of hit the middle ground and didn't really, it fluctuated between having some highs but having a majority average to below average episodes for me. I felt like I'd argue I could go back through, and if I like marked down every single episode like as they were happening, like yes I like this, no I didn't like this, or it was okay, I feel like I would end up with a majority of it was okay, and then the amount of episodes I was like this is really good versus the amount of episodes I was like this is really bad, it would honestly probably be very similar as well, to the point that I think it just kind of averages itself out, unfortunately. If I rated it, I'd probably give it like a flat 5 personally. Once again, fully okay if you disagree and this really means a lot to you or you really like the series for whatever reason. It just does not do a lot for me, unfortunately, and it's a shame because I really did have hopes going into this that it was going to be like something crazy because a lot of people like it. I even got a friend who just read the manga like not too long ago and he was hyping it up that it was really good, so it's a shame that it just doesn't connect or impact with me personally. But that's why we kind of do these things and we watch them, so I can talk it out and discuss my feelings as I'm going the entire way through, and I can really feel like I'm gaining a better understanding of the story and the things I'm watching and share that experience with others who maybe either feel the same way or don't. And then now you can leave comments and let me know why you think I'm wrong or why you feel a certain way that I don't, and maybe allow me to appreciate certain moments about the series and certain things a little bit more and look back on it a bit more positively, right? Hopefully that's understanding enough for everybody else that's kind of listening to this. And I by no means mean like tons of hate towards the series. So if my commentary towards the end here especially came off rather negative, I was just kind of reflecting on the memorable things in which were kind of in my mind here without anything like pre-written or really thinking about it, right? That's going to be all from me though. Thank you very much if you watched any of these episodes or made it all the way to this point and supported it in any sort of way. Definitely does mean a lot to me. Check out the community tab on my page for the current poll that we are running for the replacement of this show. We're doing another show that's going to be considered more of like a classic or a staple within anime that I haven't seen because I haven't seen a lot of that type of stuff. So I'd be interested to watch some more of them and have other people kind of pick on those. So there's a few options on there if you're interested at all. Polls will probably be wrapping up when this episode goes live or maybe a day or two later, so you definitely want to get those in beforehand, especially because as of right now, while I already have it posted, it's pretty close. Thank you once again if you watched any of these. Hit the like and subscribe, they do really mean a lot to me. Feel free to check out the other videos on the channel. Hopefully I'll see you in the comments or something on one of them. Yeah, once again, thank you. You guys have a good one though. See ya.